Well, now on to a Mega Times Now exclusive. Well, amid a raging debate which has been kicked off across the nation over the need for a uniform civil code, here's another call for reform in the Muslim family laws. And this, interestingly, is coming straight from those at the receiving end of this bigotry. In a nationwide study, this has been conducted by the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan. 84% of the Muslim wives who have been surveyed say that polygamy should be outlawed. While mentioning how being in a polygamist relationship can be extremely traumatic, 73% of these women want husbands indulging in polygamy to be punished. In fact, listen in to some of the victims, as they are calling themselves, of polygamy.
मैं बताए नहीं थे कि मेरी उनकी शादी हो चुकी है, तो मेरे साथ भी यही हादसा हुआ, मारपीट करे, 3 लाख रुपया कैश मांगे पूरा, और मेरे पे इतना जुल्म करते हैं कि पूछो मत, बेहिसाब जुल्म करते, उठे छुटे मारना पीटना, सास का भी जुल्म है और आदमी का भी जुल्म, आदमी का इतना जुल्म है कि पूछो मत। कि 1 माले की बिल्डिंग से मेरे को फेंक रहे थे, वो तो नसीब की जाली थी तो मैं बच गई, अगर जाली नहीं होती तो मैं शायद नीचे आ जाती थी।
मुझे तलाक देने के पीछे रीजन एक ये भी है कि घर में दूसरी महिला को लाना, क्योंकि मैंने अपोज करती थी इस चीज का, तो फिर वो दूसरे तरीके से मुझे तलाक दे दी गई। लेकिन घर में यही बताया जाता है कि हमारा जो बेटा है वो एक नहीं, तुम्हारे अलावा 3-3 औरतें घर में ला सकता है। सेम अगर मैं हूँ और मैं 2-3 शौहर लेके आ जाऊँ तो क्या तुम अग्री करोगे इस चीज पर?
तलाक बिदअत से ज्यादा पॉलीगैमी से मुस्लिम महिलाएं परेशान हैं, जबकि ये शरिया लॉ का खुला मजाक है। शरिया में इस तरह की कोई कंडीशन नहीं दी हुई है। शरिया में इस तरह की शादियों को बिल्कुल बैन किया हुआ है।
जो सर्वे की रिपोर्ट देखने जाएगी तो हर महिला ने अपने हिसाब से जो बात की है, 91% महिलाओं ने कहा है कि नहीं चाहते हम कि हमारे शौहर की दूसरी शादी हो। एक कायदा आना चाहिए ताकि ये थोड़ी रोकथाम हो, जैसे 3 तलाक के लिए हो गई।
Well, you've heard it from the women, the Muslim women themselves, the sense of betrayal, the loss of self-respect and dignity that all of them are feeling. Remember, these are the women who themselves or have been, or rather are, in a polygamous marriage, and their trauma is now only compounded by the education and also the economic deprivation that they are facing. In fact, let's get you some more of the stats which are coming in, which really puts everything into perspective. Why is UCC needed as per these women? Well, this is why. 23% of them say that their husbands informed the wives about the second marriage, had not informed them initially, and only later did they find out. In fact, 72% of the women said that they learned about their husband's second marriage much later and externally from other people instead of from their husbands. 72% of these women had learned about their husband's second marriage externally from others. 90% of them are saying that women have said that their permission was not sought before the husband had decided to marry their second wife as well as the third wife. So what is the larger picture here? Let's also remind you what the laws are for everyone in India. Remember, India Constitution has always upheld equality for each and every citizen. However, is this equal and is this just for Muslim women? Because remember, in Hindus, it is punishable under Hindu Marriage Act to have a polygamous relationship. It is not allowed. Across in Christianity, it is prohibited under the religious laws as well. No Hindu, no Christian can be allowed to be in a polygamous relationship. However, when it comes to the Muslim law board, it does allow, and this is a 1934 law which allows men 4 wives. This is something that several of the leaders of the BJP have been questioning time and again. Let's get you some of those quotes of what it is that BJP chief ministers have been talking, because remember, if there is going to be a push, it would be at the state level, which is why the chief minister's opinions really matter. You have Hemanta Biswa Sarma. He had said that there is no right to a man to marry 3 to 4 women. There's also Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who has said, why should there be 2 constitutions in one country? Several such reactions are coming in. This, of course, is the Chief Minister of Assam, and then you have the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, both of them putting up a very, very strong pitch for uniform civil code, this for gender equality. In fact, let's get you some of the reactions coming in from the Congress. Are they going to now stand up for women's rights and gender justice? Listen in.
ये कोई ऐसा महत्वपूर्ण इशू नहीं है ये तो एक धार्मिक उन्माद पैदा करने के लिए सब किया जाता है। मुस्लिम समुदाय है वो भी इस पक्ष में नहीं है कि हर आदमी जब 4 शादी करे। आप भी जानते हैं, हम भी जानते हैं कि शायद ही कोई बहुत रेयर कोई आदमी ऐसा करता भी होगा। पहली बात तो ये। दूसरी बात यह है कि इस तरह सरकार को देखना चाहिए, उनको समझना चाहिए कि आखिर इस तरह की जो चीज़ें हो रही है वो क्यों हो रही है, उसको रोकना चाहिए। जो धार्मिक उन्माद पैदा करने का प्रयास, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास कोई दूसरा एजेंडा नहीं है सिवाय इसके कि वो धार्मिक उन्माद पैदा करें।
Well, let's throw this open. Let's go across to our panelists. Joining us today, Dr. Zeenat Shaukat Ali, an Islamist scholar. Also, there is Majid Hyderi, a political analyst. Majid Hyderi, I'm glad that you're here on my show because you were there yesterday when you said that we have these laws, especially that of polygamy, you said, which is for the benefit of the women. Now, 84 of the Muslim women feel that polygamy should be made illegal. 73% say that husband should be punished for it. These are Muslim women who have been surveyed by the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan. Can you now refute it? Will you now still say men should be deciding what women want and what their rights are?
Well, Meghna Sahiba, it's a proud moment, firstly, that Sania Mirza, a Muslim woman, will be the first Muslim fighter jet pilot in our country. I congratulate you also for that, because you being a woman. So I congratulate everybody, even Zeenat Shaukat Ali Sahiba, for that. See, polygamy is a part of Islamic culture and we don't find a taboo in it. If a modern man can have multiple girlfriends, why can't he have 4 legally wedded wives? That is first point. And then, do we not have polyandry? Do we not have polyandry in our country? The Punjab University study says that there are still many villages and tribes which opt for polyandry. So religious issues need to be kept away from.
And are you saying that that is codified? Polyandry is there as per you, and it has been codified, hence you want to allow polygamy?
It's not as per me. It's polyandry is a part of some Hindu culture, some traditions, and we don't have any issues with that. So why should anybody have issues that Muslims can go for polygamy?
But women in the Muslim community have a problem with it. Who are you saying that, dude? Who doesn't have a problem? The Muslim themselves are saying the women themselves want their husbands punished for it.
See, a Muslim cannot have issues with something which is divine. It's a divine word. It's the word of God. You can't challenge it. And it's not enforced upon every Muslim to marry 4 times. But yes, it's a legal option, and those who opt for it.
Is revealed at the time of the Battle of Uhud, when women were destitute. They had nowhere to go. So it was a kind of a protection. But in the same surah, in verse number 129, it comes that a man cannot be just however much he tries to his wife, which is pointing out towards monogamy. And on the basis of this, you find that there are 2 countries of the world that have brought about a complete outlawing of polygamy. The first was Turkey, but Turkey based its laws on civil laws, on the Swiss law. And then there was Tunisia. Tunisia based itself absolutely on the Quran, and it based itself in Islamic law, and it argued the case that first of all, when polygamy, this verse was revealed, it was revealed because there was a man could have unlimited number of sexual relationships, unlimited number of wives, and there were different forms of marriage and different forms of their living together. So, these kind were outlawed. And, this kind of regressive approach that you can have anyone at the drop of a hat had to be overcome. So you have to understand the circumstance, and it is also very clearly mentioned in the Pakistan 1961 law. Though Pakistan is a backward, conservative, redundant country, according to me, yet they made this law in 1961. And when the debate began, it was very clear that they came to this understanding that this is not based in the Quran, and they made an arbitration council whereby it's practically impossible for a man to marry another woman. Now, the whole point is that, we use religion and misuse religion to suit us. That is the very sad
It's convenient. Very well made point. It's just convenient, Majid Hyderi. Tunisia, Turkey, Islamic states who have decided to do away with this regressive regime, saying that it is gender unjust. But yet in India, you'll sit and bat for it. We have a constitution.
See, firstly, no Islamic country can be a touchstone for a secular country like India. So let's not compare the two. But the point is that
You're making a pitch for a badge of honor for Muslim. Why not then compare it to other states which are Muslim?
Because it is cutting across
the
Muslim
see,
world.
Tunisia can't be Tunisia or even...
Quran is revered across the Muslim world.
That's
See,
right, the Quran
is the word of God which offers Muslim men option to marry 4 times. It's as simple as that. And no verse of Quran is that it is about that period or this period. No. Quran, every word of it exists till the world will exist. This is our belief. And the constitution of this country, Article 25, gives you the right to freedom of your religion, to practice your religion in accordance with its beliefs.
Let me also remind you, this law dates back to 1934. Several reforms have been made in personal laws since then, and this across religions. So this is not a single targeting of one religion. It is across religions. Personal laws over the years have been reformed. I'm just going to come back to you, Zina Chaukat Ali. But before that, more reactions which are coming in. Listen in. This is Majid Hyderi, who, I beg your pardon, this is Majid Memon, who is now also coming out and giving a reaction. Listen in.
Those who are upholding and standing up for the rights of women, equality in society, equality in law, equality in the mainstream of the country for women, are agitating that to be the second wife or third wife of a man, she is not certainly going to get all that is due to her, because her rights are shared by more than one person. Now, therefore, this is a issue which is socially extremely important, and this is not a religious issue.
More breaking news which is coming in. This time around, a reaction from the Congress which says that clearly the survey is showing polygamy pain, but the Congress leader still seems to be in denial. Listen in to how Salim Ahmed says that several restrictions are there in Muslim personal law on this matter and checks and balances. Listen in.
We go by the Shariat law, and nowadays the polygamy is not practiced much in India. It's a rare case things are going that way. But this kind of a report, what you have said, I have not seen that report. Let me see the report and make the reaction on that.
But overall, what is your opinion, sir, on such matters?
I said no, this is hardly, not even 1%, 2% kind of issues take place. No, because we have our Shariat law. We all follow Shariat law. Definitely, in that also, there are a lot of restrictions for polygamy. It is not just everybody for whims and fancies they do that. Some in different situations, it is allowed, not all the time. So definitely, let me see the report and make.
Now, just let's remind you of the data. This is a survey which has been done by Muslim women, and 23% of them say that the husbands inform the wife about the second marriage. 72% of them said that the women learned about their husband's second marriage from other people. They were not even informed about it. 72%. 90% of them said that their permission was not even sought. This is a survey by the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan. Dr. Zina Chaukat Ali, here's the problem, isn't it? Even though we just heard the Congress leader coming out and saying there are several checks and balances which are there in the Muslim Personal Law Board, on ground, it's quite evident the injustice.
I think, you made the point. It is Muslim women who are asking for protection. There has been fraud involved in cases where husbands do not inform wives, and there has never permission been taken. So all those strictures which are practiced across the Muslim world on the basis of the same Quran that we read in India and the same Quran that is applicable to all Muslims, they have brought about very, very strong restrictions and very strong laws against it. Now, the whole point is this kind of a discussion that we are having in a secular democratic country like India, where the Muslim women are asking for something. You see, there was no right to give even for a Muslim woman to ask for a divorce, to plead for a divorce, till the husband didn't pronounce the triple talaq. But the latest judgment on khula, which has come in, has very clearly said that Muslim women have the right to divorce their husbands, and that is what is written down in the books, in the Sahih Hadith, where two women were divorced, and the permission by the name of Bariya and Jamila, and the permission was given by the Prophet, and they had the right to do so. So here in this case, where polygamy is concerned, the same law applies. When a woman is asking for something, she's asking for protection. After all, what is the definition of marriage?
Absolutely.
We have to see that in Islam, marriage is a mithaq-e-ghalid, that you have taken a covenant unto each other, that you are like a garment unto each other, like you have taken vows for each other. This is what Islam is saying. But it is very unfortunate that Muslim men who are, read in the book, in the scripture, should even take a position.
Majid Hyderi, please don't laugh. Majid Hyderi, please don't laugh, because you're not one of the Muslim women who's being forced to endure this. 41% of these women say that their husbands do not live with the first wives. 25% of these women say that the husbands spend less time with their first wives. 16% say that the frequency of fights have also increased, that there is mental anguish and trauma that these women have to undergo. Majid Hyderi, why are you laughing? Is this a laughing matter?
So much of peeping into Muslim homes through these surveys. Why do you have this kind of peeping all the time, that Muslim ne kya khaya, kya pakaya, how they live, how they
These
speak,
are Muslim women we are talking about.
No,
how can you deride their sentiments? How can you mock their pain?
How is the survey being done where you are peeping into Muslim homes? This is all the way incorrect. This is infringement of somebody's privacy. It's the infringement of privacy of a particular
What are you talking about, Majid Hyderi? Women demanding for their rights. You are laughing at them. You are laughing at women demanding their rights. Zeenat Shaukat Ali. Dr. Shaukat Ali, is that the problem? Is that the problem? That men find it okay to laugh at women when Muslim women today say we want equal rights?
This study is unfair. This is like peeping into
Dr.
somebody's home.
Zeenat Shaukat Ali, can we hear? Yes. Please, can you have the patience to listen in to a woman for once? Dr. Shaukat Ali.
Yes. You see, I think, you see, this entire, it is a chauvinistic approach. The male chauvinistic approach, which has always been prevalent across. It's not only with Muslims, but throughout the world and throughout centuries. This kind of an argument is purely chauvinistic. Here, the argument should be, yes, the women are asking for it. Yes, the Quran is saying that you cannot have two hearts, you cannot treat women alike. So that is, it is showing the way to monogamy. And yet you are arguing your case on the basis of a religion.
Absolutely.
I think that the whole thing is absolutely.
And there are those who are coming out and laughing and mocking the pain and the plight of these Muslim women who've been strong enough to come out and said, we want our husbands punished for polygamy. They refuse to even have a discussion. However, thank you so much for joining us here on the show, Dr. Zeenat Shaukat Ali, as well as Majid Hyderi. With that, a short break.
The war against COVID is far from over. As cases surge worldwide, it's time to renew your WMD pledge. Washing, masking, and social distancing. Join Times Now's campaign. Renew your WMD pledge.